Radio Tekkers Live. We're giving you the best insights for your football commentary here. It's Arsenal, it's Spurs, it's me, Tanner, it's
Mario,
it's Mag, it's Matt. Let's go.
Hit the intro.
Alrighty, everybody. Welcome once again to yet another episode of Radio Tekkers. I'm, of course, Tanner, a.k.a. the Texas Gentleman, and alongside me here, two of podcasting's finest. Yes. First off, of course, the podfather himself, Mr. Kablam.
kablam, kablam, kablam to you all.
Oh, goodness. And of course, what else could the show... What could we possibly do today if it weren't for the one, the only, the magnificent one himself, Mr. Matt Willis?
I appreciate the very kind words, sir. Looking forward to the first Arsenal game we have covered this season.
Ah, yes. The first Arsenal
and
game.
Hopefully last.
We'll see. We shall see. It is Arsenal versus Spurs. It's the North London derby. Gentlemen, this game has always brought a special feeling in my heart as a neutral fan because of how much passion has always gone into the game from both sides. Now, in recent years, we've seen both of these teams not really live up to their standards, but hopefully we can see them getting something started here today. What do we think, Mags?
Yeah, I think this is two teams in transition. Arsenal perhaps a little bit more than Spurs. Arsenal are, let's not beat around the bush, they're woeful. They've a team with some really top draw players, but no span, no strength, no substance. A manager who is weak, a team that don't play together as a team, and they are very much deserving to be in the position they're in, currently in 13th, 3 places behind where they were last season, and last season's performance was dire, and this season they spent 150 million to improve their performance, and they're worse off. It's sad to see, because this was a top 6 team. They're definitely not now. In terms of Tottenham, again, like last season, they kind of flattered to deceive in the early parts, were front runners, and then the wheels absolutely have come off. They can't score a goal for love nor money. I think I've just seen a stat on Sky Sports that says they're the 20th in terms of shots taken, chances created, and goals. It's woeful. These are two teams that were big dogs and now are basically the runts of the litter.
Matt, I mean, obviously,
enjoy the match and stick around.
Stick around, please do. I mean, Mags may have done a terrible job at selling you on staying with us to watch the show, but I kid. Mags did a wonderful job. But all kidding aside here, this could possibly be a game here, Matt, that sparks some kind of inspiration from both sides. Would you say so?
I would say so, because as you guys have pointed out at length before, I can get a word in before we start going on the air to try and get my point across. I could do it down on the air. Perfect. Arsenal had a terrible start to the season. They got trounced by Chelsea. They got trounced by Man City, and they got taken apart by Brentford. We know how good Brentford are this season. We saw that yesterday with Liverpool. We'll get that more later. But that was before they actually put their big signings into the team. Ramsdale, for example, since he's been in the squad, Arsenal have won every game. So having a stronger goalkeeper, because I never rated Bert Leno.
A stronger goalkeeper, someone who's in the last 2 seasons conceded the most amount of goals and been relegated twice.
You're only as good as the defence in front of you, Max.
I mean,
and your defence
there is an element of that.
And your defence it's only as confident as the protection's got behind it. If you know you've got a strong keeper behind it, you're more confident in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
If you're worried you've got Massimo Taibi behind you, for example, then you are going to make mistakes. And proven every time Taibi played, he let in 10 goals in 3 games.
Okay, so I
Go ahead.
was just going to counter his point.
Yeah.
That would mean that Ramsdale should be very high up in terms of the shot stopped, and he wasn't even in the top 10 keepers over the last 2 seasons. So the shots that are getting through to him, he's not the one stopping the shots. They're still going in the back of the net. So I don't think he's a £30 million plus or whatever keeper, 24 million. I don't think he's the problem, the solver to Arsenal's problems.
Mm-hmm. That being said, of course, there is maybe a bit of a school of thought where we've had Bernd Leno in goal for these high-profile games for Arsenal, and he's flattered to deceive time and time again.
And I will concede the point that I think Ramsdale is an improvement on Bernd Leno. Don't get me wrong. I don't think a £30 million improvement, but certainly an improvement.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would absolutely agree. I think that spending 30 million on Aaron Ramsdale is not the greatest idea that there's ever been at Arsenal's transfer board, but it's going to be interesting to see how they perform today. Of course, Tomiyasu rather is also making his debut in the North London derby, a very high profile North London derby today. He's mostly known to be a center back when he was playing in Serie A, but he's slotted in the right back position here today, gentlemen, in a very interesting way. Obviously, we know Kevin Tierney. That's not his name. Kieran Tierney.
Kevin Tierney.
Kevin Tierney. That still sounds
Every
like a footballer.
game we rename a footballer. It's as simple as that.
We should. Kieran Tierney, he likes to bombard forward and slot in some nice passes here and there. Tries to emulate maybe his fellow Scotsman.
And Robertson.
Wow.
I haven't had any.
Yesterday was when you were trying to be asleep. Not today, sir.
I haven't had any caffeine, so I poured a whole monster into this mason jar here, and I'm going to try and get through it as quickly as possible.
See the struggles that Tanner goes through for this team. I hope you all are very, very appreciative.
Indeed. Good morning, Conor McCabe in the chat.
Yes, good morning, Connor.
So you talk about the Arsenal team, but we'll let go through the Tottenham team quite quickly. I hope I spelled their name right, by the way. So.
Looks like you got it here.
Højbjerg, my God, it's hard to spell.
Hugo Lloris, Tanganga, Dyer, Sanchez, Reguilon in defense, Ndombele, Højbjerg, and Dele Alli in the midfield. Lucas Moura, Kane, and Son lead the attack here. This looks like both teams have picked some good offensive selections here. Some good teams going forward, good teams that will play on the counter. And I hope that they stack up well against one another here.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that kind of X factor of the North London derby. No matter which teams are in form when going into this, you can never count out the opposition. We've seen times when Tottenham have been really down on their luck and they've absolutely demolished an Arsenal team right in half. So there's always that kind of passion of being in a derby that can shake things up. But I think Tottenham's lineup on paper looks really decent. Looks attacking.
It's strong.
Yeah. But these are a team of players who are not in form at all. Kane is misfiring. He's very isolated up front. Ale is not being the provider that he's been over seasons past. I think the only person who really is holding themselves in good esteem in this team is probably Højbjerg. I think he's been the person that's really worked hard to push Tottenham to attack. And hopefully he can inspire the teammates around him.
Gentlemen, as we're getting closer to kickoff, let's do something we forgot to do before the game yesterday, and let's get some predictions in. Start with Tanner. You're muted, mate.
What a great prediction for muted.
Absolutely, Tanner is actually muted. So,
well, sorry. This game will be won and lost, I believe, in the striker position. It seems. I feel like Aubameyang needs to show out today. If he plans on keeping any kind of semblance of staying as not only the club captain here, but just to keep his starting spot down, he needs to show leadership. He needs to show that he can score goals and take this team to victory. So that's a really big deal here for him. He's showed up in games before of profile and stature like this, but Arsenal need him now, and I'm not entirely too confident that he will actually, show up for this one. Unfortunately, that being said, it's also a big game for Harry Kane. There's a lot of commotion about what he plans on doing after this season, whether he will stay at Spurs, whether he will move to Manchester City. There was a protracted transfer rumor this past summer about that. And I think that he could also put away some doubters, those who doubt belief in him here today, if he was to lead Spurs to victory. So yes, I think that this game will be won and lost in terms of the striker position. I'm gonna go 2-1 to Spurs.
Okay, Mags, your thoughts?
Yeah, interesting. I like your mentality, your thought process there. One thing we've kind of glossed over is how strong on paper this Arsenal midfield five really look. I mean, you're looking at Thomas Partey, who has got the potential to be one of the world's best ball-playing midfielders. You've got Xhaka, who on his day can be a game changer, and then that kind of a floating three of Saka, Odegaard, and Smith Rowe.
Chef's kiss.
Arguably one of the best three young players in the Premier League today. So if they're bang on form, I think that kind of can mitigate some of the lack of form of Aubameyang. But that being said, I do agree with Tanner that Aubameyang does need to step up. He needs to be that talisman that Arsenal need. And I think there's just a little bit more firepower in the likes of Lucas Moura and Heung-min Son, and potentially a Harry Kane hitting form again. So I'm going to go with a Tottenham win. I'm going to go 2-1 as well.
2-1 to Spurs for Mags as well. Fair enough. Everyone knows what I'm going to pick, so
he's going Arsenal 2-0.
Oh man.
It's a meme at this point.
He's living the gimmick.
Absolutely. Brilliant.
So what leads you to believing Arsenal will take this game 2-0?
Mainly because Harry Kane can't hit a barn door with a scat gun and a banjo at the moment, and I have faith in Saka to score twice today against an aging Hugo Lloris.
Aging. Interesting. Well, good deal. Those are our predictions. Mags and I share 2-1 to Spurs. Matt, splitting the difference here, going 2-0 to the Arsenal. This should be
players gathering around the center circle at this point.
Yes. Will we get anybody who refuses to kneel in this one? Let's see.
Better applause for Jimmy Greaves.
Yeah.
And rightly so.
We get a nice close-up there of Harry Kane.
He wishes he could be Jimmy Greaves.
I mean, he's a record-breaking striker in his own right. He's just not in the best of forms, but there's the old adage that form is temporary, class is forever. And I think Harry Kane is one of the best strikers that we'll see in our generation, at least.
I jest, of course. As we approach kickoff, I'm sure you gentlemen won't mind if I quickly say happy birthday, Aaron. We miss you, buddy. This game for you, buddy. Tottenham fan that I lost. Good friend of myself and Graham passed away 5 years ago.
Oh, that's a shame.
You've been 40 today.
And at least he wouldn't have seen this terrible Tottenham team.
He would have. He said he had a lot of choice words about Dele Alli. Mainly that he thought he was God's gift to the Premier League.
He's clearly missed the 5 years where he's been absolutely terrible. We're just getting to the kneel and then the kick-off.
Yes, as we approach that time, of course, we remind you all there is no room for discrimination in any walk of life, including football. And if you see any racism, you can go and report it at premierleague.com/report racism.
Indeed. I mean, there was something I saw earlier in the week that Romelu Lukaku was actually planning on trying to have players meet with heads of social media companies to try and find a better way, a better solution to the discrimination that we've seen online and how to better snuff it out. I think that it's a terrible shame that that players even have to take that matter into their own hands.
Correct.
But it does seem it is a great cause for Romelu Lukaku to take up here as we have kickoff.
Lovely. Speaking about that, I saw a news just this morning on the BBC website about a young Fulham fan.
As Lewis Hamilton wins his second Grand Prix of the day.
There's traffic.
There was traffic, yes, ironically. A young Fulham fan who is a goalkeeper and has cerebral palsy, and he was posting videos of his dives on social media, and bearing in mind he's got cerebral palsy, he does a good job, I thought. The amount of trolls that went for him, it was terrible. And obviously that's obviously discrimination, and we obviously don't support that. Obviously, but it's how Fulham, when they heard about it, they were like, "We're gonna show you that there is love." So they turned up to BBC breakfast and surprised him, and he was guest of honour at the game yesterday. 1-1 draw. When they scored, they went and celebrated with him at the side of the pitch. It was a really cool moment, and he's even trained with the England cerebral palsy team.
Oh, well, that's very cool.
Which is really, really cool.
That is cool. But it bears repeating that it takes absolutely nothing to be canned. Absolutely nothing. And it's the one of the worst things about social media is the anonymity it gives people to just be horrible for absolutely no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
I don't understand it. But Mr. Raymond Cashington III in the chat there. Hola, mis amigos. I didn't realize he was Mexican.
Bonjour. He's even from Texas.
Well, that's another story.
we learned about that not too long ago too. So,
I was listening last week. I don't forget who it is. So yeah, this should be a good game on paper. The North London derbies, or the NLD, as some people like to call it, mainly Tanner, who can't understand what LNLD means. Oh dear, I'm getting shouted at here.
Yeah, you opened up.
I'm a proud Englishman. What's your point?
He's a proud Texan from Maryland.
We'll leave that at that, of course. But yeah, talking about North London derbies in general, they tend to be quite fiery and feisty affairs. Of course, remember the amazing 5-4 game with David Bentley scoring from the halfway line. Amazing goal. The 4-4 draw. Not that long ago either. Maybe 5-6 years ago. There's been some great games. There's been some terrible ones, and we haven't had a 0-0 this season on Tekkers so far.
We haven't.
We have not.
In fact, we haven't had the last.
There is
0-0.
no curse. There's absolutely no curse.
No, isn't. The last 0-0 we did on Tekkers was in February, by the way, I've checked.
Mm-hmm. So we're now about 3 minutes in, and we've not touched a single mention of this game. But Arsenal have had a lot of the possession, not really created any chances, and then we've just seen a long ball by Ramsdale, and it went straight through to Lloris.
Oh, goodness. Odegaard pressing here. Does not seem to go anywhere, though.
And is that Saka absolutely Saka wrestling Regulion to the ground? Brilliant. Went for a German suplex, much like we saw yesterday.
I have a feeling that this game will be much better than yesterday's game.
This game needs an Eric Lamela.
Well, maybe Granit Xhaka is the new Eric Lamela.
I mean, he's the. I don't think he's the new Eric Lamela. He's the only Granit Xhaka.
He's the. Get stuck in, lads, and throw a 2-footed tackle well above the ankle,
and just below the neck.
I'm just gonna drop kick you in the chest. That's what I'm gonna do.
But it seems Arsenal have started brightly. They're keeping Tottenham pretty much pinned down. But as I say, that Tottenham actually have control of the ball. And again, like we said, this is going to start scrappy. Lucas Moura then thrown to the ground by Xhaka.
Oh, goodness.
Well, you have more comments coming your way, Tanner?
I do what?
So, Tanner, I saw that banner, sir.
I did not actually make said banner. I don't know what's going on.
Are we on about you're not a real? that is mean. Whoever's done that ticker.
Son, offside, but half a chance. He's offside, and wait till he pulls the trigger before he puts his flag up. I hate this rule.
That's such a terrible rule.
It's weird. The VAR's got faster this year. Unquestionably, it's much faster and much more accurate. But the flesh and blood man can't put his flag up until the ball has gone out of play. That's just wrong. I'm sorry. That's just wrong.
Especially when the players know full well that they're offside and they have to carry on playing until the end. And as we say, that Arsenal power forward and Aubameyang gets
almost made mugged out of us all, Mag, didn't he?
A really decent shot off and great save by Lloris. The ball was really well done. Oh, it looks like he may have just strayed offside a little,
but that's an early wake up call.
We have an invading guest here. Mr. Ray Cash has joined us. Ray, how are you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We can hear you,
Can
sir.
you hear us?
Hold on one second. What about now?
Well,
yes.
I mean, we could hear you in the first place.
Yeah, we.
I wasn't through my speakers. First and foremost, Matt, it's a pleasure, my brother. How you doing?
This is the first time we've ever spoken face to face, isn't it, sir?
First time? Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure, man. Good to meet you for once.
Absolutely fantastic. Talk about yourself. It's fine. Okay, Arsenal breaking here, and the ball goes.
Tamayasu.
Yeah, Tamayasu. Bless you.
Odegaard. Odegaard out to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe. Somebody crossed the ball. Maybe Tierney. Tamayasu again crossing in. It gets the.
He tried to lay it off to Saka then, but was unfortunate. The ball's gone out.
Got ideas at least.
So here we go. Let's hear it, Ray.
How
are you, sir?
I'm a little perturbed. Okay,
perturbed. All right.
This is just a wee bit because I don't appreciate my Texanhood being questioned.
Is that even a word?
How dare you? How dare you question my Texanhood?
I'm saying.
Look, man, as the fellow Texan here on the panel, it wasn't me. It was to quote Shaggy, it wasn't me.
Selling us down the river, Tanner.
There's only one man on this panel who could have possibly pulled this off.
We all know. We know who it was. We all know. Wait, Matt, I saw your head pop up. Wait a minute. Et tu, Brute?
Et tu, Brute?
Oh, goodness. My
goodness.
Well, this was the swerve that nobody expected.
I'm saying, I thought we were better than that.
Oh, goodness.
You know me. I'm a good cop and a bad cop. Out later on
And a
BTM.
terrible chef.
Hashtag plugs.
Great doctor though. I got full hormone replacement therapy with.
At least I don't create chocolate sausage gravy fountains.
Oh god.
Not yet. Give it till your wedding, and then we'll see that happen.
Mags, we gotta scope out the pricing on that chocolate.
Man, if he keeps saying that he won't, that's going to be his gift from the Kirby household: a chocolate fountain with gravy,
with sausage gravy,
and sausage.
More
Chocolate fountain
specifically.
with sausage gravy. Boy, I'm so glad I was born on the west side of the Atlantic. My God.
You're so glad I was born in Baltimore. I mean Houston. Wink.
See,
I was born and raised in Houston, sir. Like, he's trying to make y'all believe he was born in Burnley. That's not true.
He's not from Burnley. He said that many times.
I am born and bred in Burnley.
Do you live there, do you?
He's from
I'm thinking of
Dudley.
Chris. I'm thinking of Chris, aren't I?
yeah,
He's
Chris
from
is
Dudley.
not from. Yeah,
Dudley.
Yeah,
in the black country.
Yeah.
That's
he's
where we're going
from
with
the black
this.
country. Yes.
yeah. Chris is from the same place that. What's his face?
I think Chris is from Halifax, which is about 15 minutes away from Burnley.
Oh, okay.
Halifax.
Tillbank.
So not Canada. Not
No, I'm about to say Nova Scotia.
No,
Wait a minute.
I am not
Dan
from
Griffin.
Paddy Scum.
Adam.
Oh goodness. Dan Griffin has joined us in the chat. How's it going, Dan? Hope you're
And
doing
welcome to
well.
anyone who is joining us in the chat for that matter, on Twitch or on YouTube. Remember to follow us and
Yes.
like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, please do. For
So,
all of your
Ray-
football commentary and
Is
shithousery.
are you actually watching the game?
Ooh.
No, I was going to ask you how would I find it.
Yes,
Never a week.
You would sign in. You would go to NBC Sports where you can watch Arsenal play
Oh.
Spurs.
Oh, well, I could watch it on the cock.
Maybe
Well,
you might be able to. I'm watching it on NBC Sports. You might be able to watch it on Peacock. You could give it a shot. I'm on NBC Sports myself.
Well,
I haven't checked
well,
Peacock.
So if I may, while I'm on here, I want to pitch you guys something. I think I've spoken to one of the three of y'all.
Sir, this
probably
is a
about-
Wendy's.
I didn't know Wendy's had chocolate gravy fountains.
Well,
Um,
the Wendy's in the UK do.
But fair enough.
And as we say that Arsenal have actually scored.
fantastic.
Wow.
And the thing is, the man that you hate, Mags. No, it's Smith Rowe.
What a goal
I
from
don't
Smith
hate
Rowe.
any of Arsenal.
What a goal from Smith Rowe. That was beautiful.
Really well played. A great team goal.
But yeah, I mean, I would be interested in if Wendy's did replace the Frosty with a chocolate gravy fountain in the UK, chocolate
Well,
sausage
then-
gravy fountain.
Well, then that's the case. Then instead of Big Macs, it's going to be blood sausage or some shit like
Blood
that.
sauce. It probably already is.
Saka,
Probably already is.
the
Did I
goal
disgust
comes-
you?
Oh, it's a really, really good goal.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The goal comes from the three that I mentioned in the build up. Saka, Odegaard, and Smith Rowe all
It's
working
from
together.
one-touch football. Bang! It's a
Great
no-look finish as well
Well,
from Smith Rowe.
that's classy from Smith Rowe.
It's that.
That's filthy. That's absolute filth, Mags.
I never doubted Arteta at all. I always thought he'd come good. So, Ray, what is your
Yeah,
pitch,
yes.
sir?
Yes, I want to know
Right.
this pitch.
This
We have
this
a
is
live
your
management meeting.
Shark Tank moment.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is, Matt. It's a management meeting because what I want to do is I'm trying my best now to get into the Premier League. I don't have a team, and
Ooh.
I want to find a team, but I don't want to just pick one out of the hat. So what I thought would be cool to do one day, if you guys are up, is to have almost like the dating game, but where you three guys would try to pitch me which club I should support, and I will buy the kit on site. Literally the day once I pick the team, I will share my screen and buy the kit.
Ooh.
Well, the rule is usually whichever club is closest to you, which I think therefore would be Liverpool, technically. The better most western team.
That's how we go on by distance.
Matt,
We're going by distance.
Matt's
If we go on a Western team, they are the most Western team.
I could just go drive to Liverpool real quick, right? And go see.
Yeah, I mean,
go see a match.
probably about maybe
Just look out your window, you might hear it.
Yeah, 10-hour trip across the Atlantic at least.
Yeah, why not?
No,
Yeah.
I think that's the potential for a really good fun show.
Yeah.
You ask us
that.
questions, we answer them, and then you pick which team you would like to partner up with, I suppose.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
wonderful-
that sounds like a really good idea.
It sounds
I'd
like a
be down
great
for that.
thing for the international break coming up.
Yes, indeed.
There you
Indeed.
go.
There we go.
And pitch me whoever you. It don't even gotta be the club you support. Pitch whoever you want.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're getting Norwich from me. Norwich or Wolves.
You're getting
It'd be
the-
me and Paige, right?
You know,
It'd be
you
me and
know-
Paige.
Wolves wouldn't be a bad idea. Newcastle, I mean, that would be a lot of pain.
What
But
team-
you'd be-
Newcastle's an awful idea.
Why
That's
not
a
take
terrible pick.
Why not, Mags? Tekkers or Dr. Team of the season, Brentford.
Brentford's
They're
an
playing very
interesting
well,
one.
man.
They played very
Well,
well yesterday.
Let's work on it. We'll pitch Ray a team. He can ask us questions, not even anything to do with football. Just see if he likes our answers, and then side with the team. Like, what
Radio
kind of
Tekkers-
fruit would your team be?
Yeah, Radio Tekkers Dating Game Edition. There you go.
And of
If your
course,
team-
anyone in the chat can pitch themselves. We're going to figure out
Yes.
these massive answers.
We
Yes.
can make a thing of it. Yes, the ignorant Texan.
And
try to-
Ray,
Tanner.
Matt, bro, come on, man.
no, I'm calling Tanner the ignorant Texan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not going to take shots at you while I'm around here. So it's
It's the low-hanging fruit. The low-hanging
The
fruit.
fruit is hanging so low you can pick it up off the ground.
yeah.
Much obliged, sir.
Some-
Much
some
obliged.
low hanging fruit.
Wow.
So yeah, if you guys are down, I'm absolutely down. And like I said, I will literally buy the kit that day and
I'm
come
down
back
for
on
that
here
for
with the
sure.
kit on.
That's cool.
I,
I'm
whilst
down for
you're
that.
here, though, Ray,
Cool
a couple of
idea.
questions for you, sir. While
Yes,
you're
sir.
here, have you caught much Premier League action yourself in
You're in
general?
front of us, aren't you, Tanner?
You
So,
are
yeah.
somehow.
I don't watch them live because normally most of the games are in such a different time period.
Oh,
But I
how
keep up
far
with
ahead
the
are you, Tanner?
What
I'm
is
at
your
six-
time, Tanner?
I'm at 16:15 right now.
What?
Wow,
We paused
yo.
for you. You.
So
Every time.
my
Thomas
screen
Partey
glitched
had
out
a
and
great shot.
my screen glitched out and must have gone forward.
Not so united, huh?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
it happens.
This,
every
this is a
episode.
front. This is a front. We
This is-
absolutely
this is not- this is
test
not a-
each other.
This is not a football show.
Oh,
This is a football
Arsenal.
show like Raw is a wrestling show.
Low blow, sir. Low blow.
Aubameyang is feeling it today.
Well, I told you that was the key to success is
He's in the mood,
Aubameyang
and Arsenal
feeling
would have won for the
himself.
good, of course.
So, Tanner, has your key to success led to a goal, or was it my key to success that has opened the scoring?
Well, you're 5 players, yeah.
Well, the three front line.
I
mean,
think
to-
I know that
Saka,
they-
Odegaard, and Smith Rowe working together.
To be
as a
fair,
team.
our current predictions are not working out either way between each
No.
of us.
Mine
I mean,
wouldn't fine.
Matt's the only one who's close to winning.
Matt is actually doing the best right now. But yeah, no, Ray, this is a wonderful idea. I think we should definitely take advantage of making this show based around helping you find a team.
I'm excited. And to further Matt's questions, I can't name all of the teams in the Premier League, but I know enough about the bigger teams. What's held me back is I'm very much a person that needs investment in anything I'm involved with. So if I'm not invested in a team or a person, it's gonna be hard for me to invest
You're
in.
going to go in at full Hulk. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
I'm gonna go 100%. Yes.
Okay, that's the case. Then we need you Wednesday for the EFL Cup matches, where you're going to watch them playing teams like Wycombe Wanderers.
Oh,
And-
Jesus.
You got to go the whole hog. You got to watch reserve matches. You've got another academy players coming through, sort of thing, and you got to pay for the TV channel as well.
And just to give you a heads up, Wickham is not spelled how you think it's spelled. It's not.
How is it spelled, Tanner?
Wycomb.
E.
Oh, Wycombe.
Wycombe.
No, Wickham.
No,
Yeah,
Wickham.
It's spelled Wycombe, but they say Wickham because
By the way, I
Because
appreciate I appreciate the national segregation we have here on this panel. How all of the Brits are over there
Yeah,
and all of the Texans are over here.
Americans.
Oh
Yeah.
well, never mind.
Natural Brexit.
Natural Brexit. Matt, where are you? What part of you're English? I'm assuming, right?
I'm
You assume a lot.
I am English. I'm half Scottish as well, technically. So.
Oh, that's what's up. Nice.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Which part?
I am from the east coast of England in a place called Essex. Yeah.
Okay.
He's
I don't want to
definitely
assume
an Essex boy.
I know.
Never assume you're from Baltimore after all.
Look, I ran into that, huh? How stupid would I look with the Texans thing up here? What I look like?
Well, you've got Baltimore Ravens behind you, to be fair.
So I've told Mags the story, but the reason I'm a Ravens fan because I'm 33. The Oilers, who were the football team here, left in '96. I was 8 years old and didn't understand why. I didn't get the business side of it, right?
Why did your team make a move?
Because money.
Stadiums.
They wouldn't give them a new stadium.
That's they tried that here. It's called MK Dons. Didn't work.
And everybody hates them. Everybody hates MK Dons.
Really? Well, so the city was so upset, and Tanner can tell you, the city was so mad that they left that we forced the NFL to give a new team to Houston in 6 years later. Now, in that 6-year gap, because I didn't understand the business side of it, I thought the team didn't want to be here, so I started looking for a new team. In '99, I found Baltimore and enjoyed the way they played. The next year, they won the Super Bowl, and here I am, 21 years later, a diehard Ravens fan still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. I mean, y'all have done well since you picked them.
Thank you, and hopefully, I can bring some of that fan mojo to my future club.
I'm gonna have to find a player who best resembles, I guess, Lamar Jackson. I mean, that's gonna be
it doesn't have to just
be
be
my
Lamar.
key to victory.
It doesn't just have to be Lamar because historically we're a great defense. If you find a good back, what is it, a back 7 or back 5?
I will be right back.
It depends on what you. I mean, so really great defenses in the NFL are not really compatible with really great defenses in like the Premier League. Normally, a team that has really great defense is can be quite boring at times.
Well, you're an NFL football fan, right?
Yeah,
a lot of those Ravens games in the 2000s were pretty boring.
Yeah, I mean, but y'all hit people pretty hard, and that was
true.
Exciting.
By the way,
I'm just going to cut in and tell you that Son has just had a really good shot saved by Ramsdale.
He has. Thank you, Mags, for talking about the game. I appreciate that.
I mean, I can appreciate the Baltimore Ravens love. They used to have a player called, I think it was called Elvis Gerback. He was pretty cool.
He was the quarterback the year I became their fan. Mm-hmm. And then the next year we got Trent Dilfer and won the Super Bowl. Can I put up a comment real quick?
Sure. Do whatever you want.
Mike, I'm sorry. My heart goes out to you, my brother.
Yeah.
The Jets? Woo!
Mike is a Jets fan. I've had plenty of talks with him about his Jets fandom.
Are they not doing well?
They haven't done well since about the 1960s.
Super Bowl 3, and then
nothing.
Yeah.
They're fun to talk about.
Oh, absolutely. They're a great team, historically speaking.
And they're the New York Jets, Mags. So because they're in New York, they're always talked about.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when I'm not a huge NFL watcher, but when we used to get it on Channel 4 a lot over here in the UK, I was a big fan of the Vikings, Minnesota Vikings. They were pretty good. But I don't know enough about NFL to judge. That being said, when they come over to the UK next year, we're looking to go to a game.
That'd be fun.
You'll
have to make a video for Radio Tekkers and of all the footage of you going to the game.
Tony Khan and the Jaguars are the Werewolves of London, right? Aren't they the team that goes every year?
They can fuck off.
Well, the Jaguars are pretty bad. But
what kind of screen is this? The resolution here on this replay is awful.
Did you just get like the 3D kind of like zoom camera that we just got?
Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah,
the Jets are in London this year.
That looks
so the Broncos are looking to come over, and apparently the next, we've got the Jets versus the Falcons in October, and then the Jags versus the Dolphins.
They give you the shittiest games. I'm sorry.
They used to be really good. They used to get the really good London games, and now it's like.
I think that it's because that no matter who they send, it's a packed audience. So why send the big teams?
And they got the deal already. They already got the deal.
Yeah,
so what's the point?
Yeah, why send them something exciting?
So next year, it looks like we might be getting the Broncos against the Jags.
That would be. I mean, the Broncos are a good team. They're going to get better, and I think probably by next year, you might see a potential Super Bowl contending Denver team.
Mm-hmm.
This is a stupid question because I'm the novice on this group, but you said Arsenal versus the Spurs. Who are the Spurs?
So Spurs are
the Spurs.
The Spurs.
I mean, I know San Antonio Spurs, but I mean.
So Spurs is Tottenham Hotspur. They're just called Spurs because it's just easier to say.
Oh, Tottenham. Yeah, Tottenham. Yeah, okay.
Tottenham Hotspur. So Tottenham is a suburb of London.
Gotcha.
Oh, so American.
And I mean,
is that called a suburb? What is it called there? Is it a shire?
It's a district.
Is that what you wanted to call it?
It's just an area.
It's okay. Tottenham is an area of London, and Arsenal is also an area of. No, I'm just kidding. Arsenal's not an area of London. Arsenal is a team named after the I guess it would have been an armory in London.
Woolwich.
Yeah,
Woolwich,
which is also an area of London. They both just simply happen to be in the north part of London.
Correct.
Hence, this is called the North London Derby. A big match, a big rivalry match of crosstown rivals.
I got it on, by the way. I got it on now.
Okay.
We're about to hit the 26th minute, right?
Yeah, 26:22 is what I have.
Yeah, I'm on 22. Yeah. So there's a special day in the football calendar that is called St. Tottenham's Day. It's when one of the North London teams can't catch the other one in terms of points in the league, and there's usually parties and celebrations and a lot of mockery.
Mm-hmm. So these two teams traditionally hate each other very, very much. Beyond,
I mean,
it's beyond what we would have here in American sports in terms of hatred.
Football rivalry is horrific, and Arsenal are now 2-0 up.
Aubameyang sliding it away, and he pulls off the Thierry Henry celebration.
And we were both right.
It's a great goal by Aubameyang as well. Wow. Comes in from the right. Bang.
Another great team goal. Again, really flowed well as a team, attacking as a unit. Great goal.
Okay. Now I'm seeing it.
Yeah, that's very, very ballsy.
Go! I'm like 30 seconds late. Nanu.
Brilliant.
I can't believe Aubameyang did the Henry celebration. Oh, but that pass back to Smith Rowe to Aubameyang. Oh,
glorious.
My God.
Oh, some wonderful one-touch stuff there.
But
wow.
The flick from Aubameyang, though, the no-touch flick to Smith Rowe and then back to him. That's a great team goal. Brilliant, well-played goal. Arsenal very dominant already.
Gosh.
Dan in the chat. Eric Dyer defended so badly there he could have played for Liverpool or even Burnley.
I was about to say, wouldn't you consider that terrible defense?
I mean, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Mm-hmm. I mean, to be able to pass backwards like that without really looking with such precision is I mean, that's immaculate, really.
Yeah.
So yes, it's
Where-
at the Emirates, it's Arsenal 2, Tottenham 0.
Yes, and Matt is
And
the
Matt-
only one now in contention.
That's the only one who can win this thing.
It's only took him 11 guesses to actually nail the score.
And yet, there's still plenty to play. So, if Arsenal score another goal, then we're all wrong.
I'm still closer than you guys would have been, though.
Yeah, you would still be the closest.
But it does show that that X factor of being in a North London derby really helps players raise the game, because this Arsenal team is, where has it been for the last 18 months?
It's been quite terrible.
They are brilliant so far. So.
They're looking deadly. They're looking absolutely deadly.
Yeah,
They smell
every
blood.
time they attack,
They smell blood.
yeah,
and Tottenham again are looking toothless. Harry Kane has he even had a shot?
He's
How
had
many
2
times have they-
touches.
Ridiculous.
For you
according to our
American
friend
football,
Doctor.
for you American football fans out there, 2-0 is kind of comparable to being up 21-0 in the beginning of the second half.
I'd say yeah,
second
like
quarter.
14-0. Yeah,
Yeah.
21-0.
So yeah, for every try and point after, it's essentially a goal. Yeah. Is it
Which,
a touchdown? Touchdown. Sorry.
Try is rugby. Yeah,
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I went rugby then.
Yeah, rugby. You know that American football for people
Yeah.
for tough people.
So I've actually got my Texas Longhorns jersey on this morning as we won yesterday's game.
So laundry day then.
Yeah,
nothing.
hey, we won 70-35 yesterday.
The nerve that he was like, hey, wait a minute.
We won 70-35 yesterday in a very, very good match, and yeah, so there you go. Take that, Mags.
Fuck you, Max. You're a fucking liar.
70-35. I can't think of another time that 70 was a score that we pulled off in a football game. So
You haven't had the offense since what?
We've always had offense. It's defense.
You think it's the defense?
I think it's.
I
It's
don't
always
think
been
I've
defense.
seen the American cricket team hit 70 mags.
Do the Americans have a cricket
do we
team?
have a cricket team?
They did try and
We
qualify
gotta
for
have
the
a
World
cricket
Cup.
team.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to have one. I don't know where they were played, but
It's-
I'm sure we have one.
Played by
Well,
Harvard
I'll
graduates.
tell you where,
and-
not at the World Cup is where.
That's pretty facts. But I bet you if the women had a cricket team, they'd be the best in the world.
I-
Because for some reason, our women kill it in everything.
Women's cricket is unbelievably good and incredibly violent.
Yeah.
I believe that. I've been to some women's hockey games and some women's American football games. They're more vicious than the men's side.
And if you want some of the best ones, the wheelchair rugby, oh my god, they just don't care.
Yeah.
They just do not give a damn.
Half the players didn't even need the wheelchair before they started the game. That's how brutal it is.
Anybody got a spare wheelchair? Let me hop in the game real quick.
Radio Tekkers is not responsible for the opinions of Max.
I just meant it's so brutal that you're probably going to end the match with injuries. That's all.
That's quite possible, Max, to be fair.
Tottenham caught offsides in the midfield.
Oh yeah, there's a game going on, isn't there?
Amazing. Granit Xhaka actually very well behaved so far. He's not gotten sent off, which is
We don't have to do yet,
miraculous.
Max. Tanner.
When he puts his mind to it, Granit Xhaka is very underrated as a
decent player. He's a decent player.
He was the
As a
club
general.
captain for a reason. He was.
It's just he has a hairline trigger.
Mike JC in the chat saying, I expect the Broncos to be 2-0 up on the Jets about 5 minutes in on the Jets.
Spot on.
Dan Griffin with some facts. The USA Cricket Association joined the RCC in 1965. They were expelled in 2017 for governance and financial issues.
Sounds about right.
Rejoined in
Rejoined
2019.
of course. Of course. So Wiki Red, thank you, Dan Griffin.
Thank you, Dan.
You're full of stats, mate, but that one you pulled out of your ass, sir.
Wow. It takes a lot for Matt to swear on this show.
I'm a bad influence. I'm a bad influence, Tanner.
It doesn't.
You're not a bad influence, trust me.
Saka is flowing forward
Dude,
again.
what is up with this Arsenal team?
Where the hell is this Arsenal team come from? And he's thrown through and he scored. Saka has actually gone and scored. I mean, there was a challenge. They did lose the ball, but Tottenham give it back to him, and he went and scored. This is amazing. Where has this Arsenal team been for the last 18 months?
This could be a cricket score, Mags.
Oh
wow.
My God.
3-0. 3-0.
Time.
That's amazing.
And they don't look
bets
like,
are off the table now.
They don't look like they're slowing it down either.
Oh, that sliding tackle was so terrible. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I think it's a confidence thing. This Arsenal team are just brimming with confidence now, and Tottenham, they are scared when. And Harry Kane lost the ball to give up the goal. Oh Jesus,
Matt, you put on an Xbox?
No, I'm not having no Xbox love on this show. PlayStation only here.
PlayStation.
I can't sing.
Kablam.
I just had to grab the first cap I had my hands on.
Yeah, PlayStation. Kablam.
I'll go and get another hat.
Kablam.
Oh goodness, we're so mean on this show that we kick each other out all the time. Oh man!
But again, great finish. Poor by Lloris for every single one of these goals.
I've never seen Mikel Arteta so happy. I think it's because he gets a chance to keep his job.
He's going to be creating some ranch dressing at halftime.
Some barbecue.
Definitely.
Gross. So gross. Oh goodness!
Chris BFC resigning from his job as roving reporter here at Radio Tekkers by everything. He's an Xbox fan as well. Sorry to see you go. We do not wish you well in your future endeavors.
Wow. A bit harsh. No, we support all gaming consoles here at Radio Tekkers.
Except the Switch.
The Switch is fantastic.
Because it seems though Chris may have legitimately left the chat after you said that.
I feel like you hate the Switch, Mags, because you have grown kids.
I literally have a Switch right there, and it gets no play.
Well, my Switch gets plenty of play by my children. So,
see, I would like to have a Switch for Smash. Smash seems to be the way to go when you have a Switch.
Yeah, look, I have a Switch.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
I love it, and because all the games we have are just super interactive. All the Just Dances, and they got the Mario where he fight where the Mario turned into Kitty Cat and they fight the giant Bowser and all this stuff. They love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for Mario Kart. I like Mario Kart.
We have Mario Kart, yes.
Matt seems to be back here. And
I
think that's a Balor Club hat. So
Balor Club is for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Can you not steal the NWO sign, though, please? Respect.
Isn't it the UT sign?
What have I missed here? I've seen the chat, by the way, going crazy here. What's wrong with Nintendo Switch?
Mags was just providing an opinion that he had about it.
What is your opinion, Mags?
He's just being a cheeky hater. That's all it is.
But I don't spend enough time on the Switch. I have a Switch and it gathers dust.
Is it because you haven't got the right sort of game to play it on?
I've got plenty of games on it. It's just I prefer PlayStation.
That's fine. You don't hate it. That's not hating on it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Spurs on the attack here.
Dan Griffin in the chat here.
Yes.
Who's taking a work big in North London this weekend? Spurs or
it's gotta be Anthony Joshua, bro. Anthony Joshua took one bad.
Ooh.
I do see. I remember seeing someone on Twitter saying that Anthony Joshua's got this one in the bag. I think it may have even been our roving chief field analyst.
It's interesting that only about a week or so before the fight, he signed a lifetime deal with DAZN, and then he puts in a performance where he was worse than his performance against Ruiz the first fight.
Isn't that the same thing that happened to Canelo when he signed that deal? Like he finally got beat.
Mm-hmm. I think
I know nothing about. I know nothing about boxing. That's why Mags it.
I think Joshua is still a huge draw. I think he'll still be a big factor for DAZN, but he gets in this position quite a lot where he thinks his shit don't stink, and he doesn't put in the effort.
Harry Kane header wide.
Yeah,
I think
just wide.
in the rematch he'll probably have Usyk's number, but Usyk was so overlooked in this fight.
But to be fair, the only reason this is, I think, of major relevance is because he just dropped the bag on the super unification fight between him and Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury right now is laughing.
Not only that, he's also was in his last fight with his deal with Sky Sports, signed this contract to be the face of DAZN. DAZN are making a huge play to get more sport in the UK, potentially buying up BT Sports, and he's absolutely just made a joke of all that by putting the performance that he did.
Dan Griffin, of course, a fountain of knowledge here in the chat. Canelo's only been beaten by Mayweather.
Didn't he have another fight he lost? So maybe he didn't lose. Technically take the loss, but people say he lost the fight. The judges gave him.
He had a bad performance. I think he had a bad
terrible, but it was
his own.
Yeah, it was really bad. Someone took it to him, but he won on a split decision by the judges, and we know how boxing judges can be.
I think it was that. Was it a Russian guy that they had him face?
I can't keep up with the welterweights, man. There's so many at 145, 144.
Yeah, so many world champions. it's kind of crazy.
WBF, UBF, IBF, IBC, ABC.
Lots of acronyms.
He did draw with Golovkin, and then he beat him in the ring.
Oh, Triple G. Golovkin. It was Triple G. Yeah,
Golovkin. Speaking of good fights, last night's UFC 266, which Max covered.
If only we knew someone that had an MMA show. Where would they be?
Yeah, Mags over here, he did 5 rounds last night covering the fights, and Brian Ortega nearly shocking the world in the 3rd round. Still put up a heck of a fight.
It was a great card. The only match I mean, I expected it when I knew that he was going to be fighting middleweight and not welterweight, and he clickbaited us all with the pictures of him looking in shape. And with his press,
not look in shape,
and the press conferences he's had where he was saying that he didn't know how this fight got arranged and arguments with his management team. I expected that kind of performance from Nick Diaz. The one that really let me down was Curtis Blades and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. That was a slog to get through, a real slog.
Yeah,
Tomayasu's trying to beat everybody here and just got caught.
I'm impressed with him. I'm very impressed.
He's been superb.
He's not even playing in his preferred position.
We were discussing that. We discussed this on deadline day. Of course, gentlemen, about his ability to play anywhere along that back line and as a right winger, and he makes me really look like a child.
So to get back to MMA,
MMA.
interrupt about football.
Why would we talk about football on a football show? Why would we do that?
No, I just go and listen to the show that I put out. It's available right now here on the Radio Tekkers YouTube. So after you finish here, definitely go and check that out. And I go a bit more in depth. But yeah, this was a not to miss card. It was so good. Valentina Shevchenko was absolutely outstanding.
Murderer.
Arguably, pound for pound, the best fighter right now.
I would agree. Yeah.
The main event was everything that it lived up to be. And then also check out the prelims because there's a fight between Dvalishvili and Marlon Moraes, which was a banger. Marlon Moraes absolutely emptied the gas tank on Merab Dvalishvili in the 1st round. Had him wobbled, he looked like he was on jelly legs, and then he gassed in the 2nd and was beaten. It's such a good fight. So yeah, definitely go check out UFC and check out 5 rounds as well.
Quick question, if you don't mind, just as a kind of a teaser for the show. Is Nick Diaz done?
I don't think he should have taken this fight. I believe he had financial issues. He was kind of barrel rolled into taking this fight because we all know he's had problems with money before. I remember he had a fight where he got a $500,000 paycheck, and then 2 weeks later he was struggling to pay his tax bill because he didn't understand tax. He thought that UFC would deal with his tax bill. So I think he has real issues with money. I think this was a payday, trying to kind of capitalize on the success of his brother, because Nate Diaz is the one carrying that name now.
Killing it, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't ever want to see Nick Diaz backfiring again. I think I'd like to remember the Nick Diaz who was a killer in Strikeforce and in his earlier days in UFC. I don't want to remember this Nick Diaz.
There's an interview he did with Brett Okamoto. That is one of the most sad interviews I've ever seen in my life. And he did it like the day before the fight.
Mm-hmm.
That made you think like either he's desperate or like he does not want to do this and it's dangerous. And he basically went no mas. He basically hit him with the no mas. So,
oh man,
back to that good old football though. Some people are kicking the ball.
The Spurs slowly but surely trying to get somewhere up the field to take advantage of maybe some gaps in Arsenal. Does not seem to be going anywhere. It looks like it got cleared up.
It feels like now they're actually better now to play with players they spent 150 million on this summer. They seem to be getting okay.
Who, Arsenal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben White's actually in the spend by playing. You got the goalkeeper in Ramsdale. You've got the right back, and you've got Odegaard. They seem to gel with the team quite well so far. I mean, I know it's in the first game they've actually put it all played in together.
Yeah, but what did we say in the earlier in the season about Ben White being a solid defender, but he needs somebody strong side of him, and he's got that in Gabriel Magalhaes, and he's proving exactly what we said.
And having seen Bellerin go out on loan to Villarreal, Max?
I believe so.
Yeah.
But he's wanted away for 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, he put up with a lot of crap for 3 years, and now
I mean, of his own making, when it was leaked that he was talking with Barcelona behind the club's back and telling people that he was wanting away, and then when it didn't happen, tried to play it off as if it wasn't him when it was.
It's Real Betis is where he.
I do apologize about that. And then you got the new signing, of course. They've come in. Is he loan or is he permanent deal?
Who?
The right back.
Tamayasu?
Tamayasu. I will remember his name at some point.
He is a permanent deal, I believe.
That's a really strong signing. So far, he's looked really good.
Here's an interesting tidbit of information. As the table stands now, Arsenal go above Tottenham, level on points, but beating them by goal difference. And the goal difference is because of this game. If this would have been 1-0, Tottenham would have stayed above Arsenal. But the extra 2 goals have pushed them above.
Spurs had that amazing start. They won their first 3 games. They haven't won. They haven't got a point since then.
Like they did last season. I think they went a few more games. Was it like 7 games they went?
I think about 9 or 10 there where they were right in the mix. They drew a few. They lost 1 or 2.
Yeah, when they finished 3rd in a 2-horse race.
I've used that one so much. My brother loved bringing that up as an Arsenal fan, where Tottenham finished 3rd in a 2-horse race.
Yeah.
It was there to win.
That second place trophy looks good in their empty trophy cabinet.
I have. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
Why did nobody tell me that Rob Lowe was the manager for Arsenal?
That's the human Kendall.
Mikel Arteta.
Mikel Arteta is
he's Spanish.
He is a Spaniard. He's got very little
It's
personality as compared to Rob Lowe.
Yeah, he's very he's like talking to a plank of wood.
But I mean, I'm just saying. But tell me, they don't look alike.
There are some definite similarities. I would say.
I was very taken aback. I was nervous for a minute.
If there was a movie made about not Rob Lowe's life, Mikel Arteta's life, he would be played.
Rob Lowe would play.
Rob Lowe. Yeah.
Halftime.
So what do we do at halftime?
We just talk. It's just like
we play shoot, marry, kill.
So there you go. So let's talk about this because this first half has actually been shocking to me, to say the least, and I'm sure that you gentlemen probably feel very much the same.
I have to admit, I didn't think it'd be. I thought 2-0 would probably were full time. I didn't think it'd be free at halftime. No way.
So is this Arsenal like actually this good, or has Spurs just proved to be this bad this game?
I think it's both. I think if we're going to judge Arsenal, we have to see way more performances like this to see if there's an improvement. This could easily be just because it's a North London derby and everybody's more passionate and more up for the match. Tottenham have just not turned up at all. This is woeful. This is a team that is just getting demolished. It's a little bit of both. A great Arsenal performance in this game, but a woeful Tottenham performance.
Well, we're talking about them demolishing them. Looking at the stats, Mag, it doesn't look like a demolition. It's 55 to 45 possession, and it's 6 shots to 4. It's not a massive demolition, but they're outplaying them.
It's the clinical. It's Arsenal have had 4 shots on target and scored 3 times. That's surgical in terms of finishing for Tottenham.
And no deflections either. Just bang goal. Mike JC in the chat. You may said it was typo, but I prefer the first one. I went to so much more fun.
Yeah, Mike JC in the chat. He's mentioning that he went to AEW Grand Slam.
And somebody here in the group did a solo podcast singing the praises of AEW Grand Slam. Who was that?
Who was that? Damn, Matt, you did a solo show already?
Well, I have actually, but not on AEW. You know.
Oh, okay.
And it certainly won't be praising him.
Hey, it was a good show. I don't think it was a great show, but it was a really, really good show. But you can't put the match of the year possibly first, because after that, like, what else can you do?
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean that was that is a match of the year contender. Absolutely, it's ridiculous that we even got that match on live television.
And to Mike's point, and I'm pretty sure all of us have been to some form of wrestling show, whether it's an indie or a major promotion. Seeing something live is all. Yeah, you go. Seeing something live will always usurp any opinion watching it on TV. So I'd imagine the people at Arthur Ashe had the time of their lives.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely. Question of doubt. Yeah, without question of doubt. I mean, when I went to Mania weekend at 35.
Did you go to Mania? Because I don't think you've ever mentioned this. When did you go to Mania?
The best atmospheres was definitely at the indie shows. I mean, Mania was fantastic. Unquestionably, I remember for the rest of my life. But going to White Eagle Hall in New Jersey and seeing Black Label Pro and Shikara and seeing GCW presents Orange Cassidy doing something or whatever, and seeing a 1-minute match and a best 7 out of 13 falls match, and seeing a Swamp Monster Battle Royal. Those are sort of matches you live for as wrestling fan.
GCW was killing it, with their ingenuity.
It was the atmosphere was the opposite of toxic. That's what it was. It was infectious. You wanted to literally people I'd never even met before. I was like high-fiving while we were hugging each other, obviously pre-COVID, of course. It was phenomenal. And I put any indie audience up against any WWE audience.
It depends on the show, but for the most part, I think you're right.
There were those intimate shows where it's all closed in, sort of thing.
Sure.
And the sound can go bouncing off the walls and come back at you. Absolutely phenomenal.
I dare say that WWE may have their best audience in 30 years next year when the rumour of SummerSlam coming back to the UK happens.
That'd be phenomenal. Wembley Stadium, hopefully that'd be, and
It's gotta be Wembley, right?
They're looking at a 90,000 seater stadium, so it's got to be Wembley, surely.
But Wembley last time when it was Davy Boy and Brett was 90,000, wasn't it?
Well, about 76, I think, but WWE reported it was like 83.
Okay.
Yeah, what's always annoyed me about that show is that the main event in the UK was obviously Bret Hart versus Davey Boy. Mm-hmm. However, when America showed SummerSlam on tape delay, that was not the main event. It was Shawn Michaels.
Really? What was that? Shawn and Vader that night? Was it?
It was shown to you guys on tape delay, and they didn't have the Intercontinental Championship at the main event. It was for our benefit, not for theirs.
That's 92. I've never seen anything from that show but the Brett Davey Boy match.
That was a clinic, and especially when you know how not well Davey Boy was in that match. He was not in a good place.
Was the main event not Warrior versus Savage? I think that was the main event.
That was it. Sorry. Yes, that was the one. That was what it was in America.
It confused me then. I had to actually check that.
Trying to blame Shawn Michaels for something that he
I
wasn't
can blame
even
Shawn
involved
Michaels for many things. That is not one of them. I apologize.
Wow.
A fellow Texan at that.
He's not a real Texan.
Whoa. Well,
I mean, to be fair,
he's from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah, he was not born here.
He was born there. I think he's always lived in Texas though.
That's fine. But anyway, my point is, it's always confusing me why you wouldn't have that amazing match as the main event of SummerSlam.
Because in the early 90s, you couldn't have the second level RC title match as a main event. It just wouldn't be the done thing. Bret Hart wasn't the star that he became. Bulldog was obviously a huge star here in the UK, but over in the US, it was Warrior was the man. Randy Savage was the man. So I can understand it. I don't agree with it, but I can understand it.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, you'd have booked Bret versus Bulldog for the big belt, not the IC belt. In hindsight, but that's not what hindsight will get you.
In 92, it wasn't in that picture, though.
No.
While we're on the subject of wrestling chat, since we're at halftime and there's not a... I mean, we've covered the game quite thoroughly here so far between Arsenal and Spurs. We've done a really poor job, actually.
Arsenal have pulled Tottenham's trousers down and thrashed about the private part with our newspaper.
Tonight is also WWE.
Dry.
Yeah, tonight's also WWE Extreme Rules. Indeed. There's only 6 matches officially listed on the card. Only one match that's actually Extreme Rules.
Standard rules. WWE standard rules.
Yeah.
This is annoying a lot of people. Yes.
It's interesting that there's not more Extreme Rules matches, and of course, I think as Ray was about to imply, I think there might be more than just the 6 matches that are announced, perhaps. Mm-hmm. Ray, since you're one of our resident wrestling contributors here,
yes, sir.
What do you think is going to be something to look forward to here in tonight's Extreme Rules pay-per-view show?
I'm glad you asked. And can you leave that comment up, please, by Mike? Tonight's main event is pointless. Finn Balor will leave tonight as your new Universal Champion.
I agree.
That's a bold claim, Colin. Let's see how
Brock's
that plays out.
Screw Roman.
What?
But then why would Brock cost Roman the title when he wants the title?
Because Brock, two reasons. Number one, Brock hates Roman personally. Number two, Brock knows he can beat Balor easier than he can beat Roman because he's done it already.
Mm-hmm.
And Roman has only beaten Brock when Roman had help. Ever.
That's facts. Yeah, Braun Strowman came in and just did Braun Strowman things. Brock versus Roman has been announced, but it doesn't have to be for the title.
I would like to remind you, card subject to change.
Well, I hope so, because 6 matches should be all, especially with the length of matches WWE put on, that'll be over in about an hour 20.
Well, to that point, they have shown a propensity in the recent year and a half to end these beat level pay-per-views early. I ain't mad if I'm out at
They won
9:30. I ain't mad at all.
To be fair, during the pandemic era, we went for maybe hour 45, 2.5 max, and that was just fine. That was perfect little thing. Kept us going nicely. Bear in mind, we all thought it was going to be Lashley versus Goldberg for the championship in Saudi Arabia. We all thought it was going to happen. It's not.
Yep.
Because it might if Ashley wins it back tonight, maybe. But
it's not scheduled.
It could happen, though. It could happen.
Yeah, but they wouldn't schedule a WWE Championship match last minute.
I might prefer
as of now, Big E's not even on the card.
I might prefer Lashley Goldberg in a blood feud. Might prefer that idea.
Agreed.
Because you don't need the belt for that. They've made it personal already, so that's fine.
Well, you don't need the belt for Roman Brock either.
No, absolutely not.
With the exception of Roman being on a legendary run, that feud is very established.
And wouldn't you love to see at Survivor Series Finn Balor versus Big E?
That would be fun.
Be fun match to watch. Two faces for a change.
But they've done so much work in trying to already build Roman and Big E for Survivor Series.
So my thought was that somewhere, and now this is a lot of moving parts. I know that, and that's within 2 months. But my assumption is that Big E would lose it back to Lashley in the next month or two, and then would he get the proper Bloodline versus New Day 6-man tag with stakes for being Raw and SmackDown, wherever side they fall, because none of those 6 people are being switched again. I don't think in the draft, and then that can be another marquee match, because the way in booking a card, the way Vince normally does, oftentimes the title can be contended. The title match is going to get enough shine on its own because it's for the title. Mm-hmm. Adding an extra marquee event to that card with Bloodline versus New Day with stakes, representing Raw, representing SmackDown, could be huge and could give Finn versus Lashley or whatever extra shine. Or if it is Finn, maybe Brock beats Finn before. I don't know how they do it, but you have a lot of options. And the best thing to have for a wrestling show is options, don't you think?
It's always good to have options.
And it's been WWE's way recently to switch the titles when going into these cross promotion matches.
Good point. AJ and Jinder. Good point.
Mm-hmm. So
and then the next year, Brian and AJ.
And Brian,
yeah.
So it's brilliant. I do slightly agree with what Mike says here. Brand supremacy is dumb. I hate it. I don't mind a brand supremacy thing. Maybe have the tag matches and let everything else be on your own brand sort of thing. Because I quite liked it when we had the NXT Championship match between Pete Dunne and Adam Cole. I thought that was a really good match on that card.
I don't think brand supremacy is dumb. I think brand supremacy is dumb the way WWE does it.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
that's the key.
That's fair.
The reason I say that is because all of these, so they're going to have a counter that night, Raw, SmackDown. It should have stakes. Whoever wins the most should get the number 30 in the Rumble or something of consequence. Also, if they've done a much better job in the past couple years than they did in previous years, but if you really let people on Raw stay on Raw and people on SmackDown stay on SmackDown, with the exception of the women's tag champs who have to go to both shows, then it will feel more organic and genuine that both of they don't see each other, with the exception of pay-per-views. So there is some sense of, well, I rock with my show, you rock with your show. Yo, I rock Radio Tekkers, fool. I don't care who you are. I represent Radio Tekkers, right? So like, I think that would work, but you got to have some stakes. Otherwise, these matches are useless and pointless.
So we're getting ready to kick off the second half. Sorry to interrupt, but we're getting ready to kick off the second half. And we're seeing a couple of changes. It looks like Dele Alli's going off.
It's going to be for...
they've switched for Skip. And it looks like they're bringing on Emerson.
Emerson Royale is coming on. Not quite sure for who.
Tanganga.
Ooh.
Yeah, Tanganga's had a woeful game.
The updated squad is at the bottom for you now, gentlemen.
So what do Arsenal have to, not Arsenal, but what do Spurs have to do here to, I guess,
offer prayer?
Make a run at it, yeah.
Offer prayer, form a ritual. Pray for the game to be abandoned at this point.
Yeah.
Arsenal are already on the attack.
Hope
already,
for a
and,
bomb scare.
Wow.
Well, to that effect, Max, for sure. Because Arsenal are already on the front foot.
Yeah, Arsenal are already
Aubameyang brings it down.
well in
And it's
in Spurs.
offside that occasion, but
Arsenal just the first to every single touch. There's very much a spring in the step of this Arsenal team.
there is, and Arteta's prowling the touchline like a caged lion. He's already shouting.
Where was this passion when they were in the
Same Brentford.
mid-tables last season?
Well, wasn't there.
Well, I think it does help having the spine of a good team now, Mag. As you say that front, that's the midfield is incredibly talented, and having defenders that you can rely on.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben White is 5 times the player David Luiz was. But having said that, a Scarecrow would have been more help than David Luiz was at times last season.
Are you implying that the Spurs players are actually birds?
No, I didn't imply that at all. How did you get that from that?
That's what scarecrows are used for, is to ward off
Frat
birds.
and birds. Yeah.
No, a Scarecrow would have been more use in defence than David Luiz was. I was comparing David Luiz to a Scarecrow.
I know.
Gentlemen,
Yes.
I need to dip because it's 30 minutes before NFL starts, and I have
proper football.
I mean, I was gonna say that, but respect.
You go watch your egg chasing, sir. We will catch you again soon.
Yes.
How about before you run and gun? How about you drop everyone quickly how to get in touch with your social media?
Yes.
At It's Ray Cash. That's REY as in Mysterio, CASH as in dollars. I'm normally I'm starting to be here on Radio Tekkers. Shout out to the Cash In show dropping very soon. I mean, like weeks. And of course, I'm everywhere on the Chair Shot Radio Network. We're about to record Bandwagon Nerds in an hour and a half, which will be out Monday. And I have like 75 shows on that show, over there. So, but yeah.
You need a Magnet Devil then. Excellent.
Yeah, I'm trying to compete with me and Mag.
It's all
How
the
can you
most.
talk, Matt?
But I can quite easy. My mouth words come out, which is never good.
Rude.
Thank you for letting sometime me Texan hop on here with you guys and talk about everything but football, which the show is about. I truly appreciate it. I didn't mean to run in.
Yeah,
No, you're good, man. This is
Genuinely,
fun.
thank
you
you.
ruined the show, Ray. Let's call a spade a spade. You wrecked.
That's what I do, right? That's what you bring me in for. You want a show to die? Call Ray Cash. That's what you do.
We're gonna have to back to find you a Premier League team,
Yes.
very, very soon. So thanks for coming in, man. This was a lot of fun.
Absolute facts, Mike. Between us, there is about 90 pods. Yes.
What am I, shoplifter?
91.
Oh, you were calling people who have lots of podcasts 2 minutes ago, but now you want to be included.
No, I'm just saying. Between you do it quite easy to mention my name in there as well because I've got like 6. So
That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous amount.
It's not about the size of the ocean. It's about the size of the boat. It's the motion of the ocean.
Yeah, I'm about to say you got to get that right now, Tanner.
It's been a long morning, man. I'm just. It's not going great.
Tanner,
Like I got the wrong donut from the donut store. This monster's not doing anything for me.
You got
Arsenal
no
are
bacon
winning.
in your tacos yesterday. It's just been a bad weekend.
No bacon in my tacos yesterday. It's been disappointing.
What you should do, Tanner?
My phone broke. My car's
You
not.
work with a phone company. Just take a new phone.
I don't think it's that easy to just take a new phone.
Shout out to Good Cop, Bad Cop Wrestling Podcast.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes.
4, 3 and Matt.
Well, to be fair, we haven't had Ray on at some point. We need to have you on at some point. And Tanner, for that matter, hadn't responded to my emails. So,
What do you mean I haven't responded
you've
to
been
your emails?
DM'd. You've been DM'd.
Oh, he ignored you. He totally
Did you send it to the? I don't even know which DM you're referring to. I'll take a look.
Anyway, we'll do that later. Ray, as always, an absolute pleasure and a privilege, sir.
It is absolutely the same. I appreciate it. We got to do some stuff together for sure, Matt, especially now that I'm part of the team.
Absolutely. Pleasure.
But thank you guys, genuinely. I'll talk with y'all later. I'll be on the Twitter and the DM. So
enjoy the game, sir.
Yes, sir. Y'all too. Be good.
Take care, Ray. Ray Cash, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. The man who, along with myself, dragged Mags kicking and screaming into the podcasting world, and he's never looked back. I've got a little stat for you.
It's very, very true.
I've got a little stat for you, gentlemen. Here, Spurs are now conceded 3 goals in 3 consecutive Premier League games for the first time since 2003.
Wow, that's piss poor.
It's not great. That's not great at all. Let's see here. Good Cop, Bad Cop in the chat says, Tanner, we stopped at a store today that was called Texas Donuts. They were good, but we couldn't tell the difference from standard donuts. Is there any?
No. We've had this argument. Rolling Rock or Round Rock donuts are the best, allegedly.
Round Rock donuts are the best donuts in the world. There's no question about it. I don't know why. I'm not aware of this Texas Donuts store.
It's an independent shop, probably, Danny, which is no hit in Texas at all, probably. So.
Yeah, because Graham's from Virginia.
He's in Virginia,
yeah. I'm not quite sure where the
Texas
Texas
part piss poor ball from Spurs. And now Arsenal countering.
But Round Rock donuts, they are actually very, very special, and they need to be tried by everyone.
And in fact, didn't you do also on the food topic? Didn't you do a Headlock Talk episode where you tried pretty much every chicken sandwich that was available?
I did.
That's a great listen.
That's might have a great show for sure. We were talking yesterday on Good Cop Bad Cop pre-show about Red Lobster.
Oh, okay.
I heard that. Yep.
About Red Lobster.
Yeah.
Tanner, have you heard of the fish and chips they do there?
Have I heard of the fish and chips that Red Lobster specifically does?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, not essentially the chips, because you could switch the sides out.
The sides. You get multiple sides. Fish and chips, they recommend French fries.
So knowing that Red Lobster is a
seafood... off the line!
Oh, wow. Are they claiming handball?
Yes, they're claiming handball.
Is this going to be VAR? The referee is surrounded by Arsenal
problem.
They'll have to go to handball for it. They have to go.
I want to see a replay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, could it be a handball or did he just head
push?
it?
He's onside. He's on.
Okay, so there's the cross in by Odegaard.
Oh, they're saying for the foul. They're saying he fouled.
They're saying he pushed. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He headed it away, but
He did push Gabriel over. Fish and
the header was very lucky. I mean, he fell into the ball to head it over. But yeah, that looks like a push to me.
Indeed.
Yeah.
While
fish and Brussels sprouts, that's horrific. Anything Brussels sprouts is horrific, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not been given, Max, by the way.
So is there something special about this fish and chips that I should be aware of? Because
yes, the sides you can have with it.
You can switch out the fries, essentially.
Well, that's
Brussels sprouts.
Well, that's a very American
for Brussels
thing.
Sprouts.
Well, okay. I mean, I heard you say Brussels sprouts like 5 times, so I get that.
Brussels sprouts do not belong on a fish and chips dinner.
Oh, okay. But you have to understand that here,
back away from the fish
in America, we're all about choice and democracy. We don't have some kind of a royal family that dictates our lives every day.
They don't dictate ours either.
Wow.
So we give our people the option. Hey, if you don't want fries, you can have a salad or perhaps Brussels sprouts.
If you want a salad, I understand that at least. But
okay. So you're going to complain that a restaurant has Brussels sprouts on their menu?
Deep fried Brussels sprouts.
Okay.
No.
Fine.
No, it's not fine.
it's their choice.
It's not fine. It's not fine. You're wrong.
This actually, Granny, you actually hit the nail on the head. This is Matt's bubbly chocolate equivalent. He is really. I mean, I hate Brussels sprouts. I would not die on this hill that Matt's dying on.
I love a Brussels sprout personally, but I like it in a vegetable context boiled on a stove so it's nice and soft. Put it with some potatoes and some gravy with a roast dinner. That's for me, no problem. You do not
Boiled.
desecrate the beloved Brussels sprout by
Boiled,
deep
though.
frying it to hell until you're basically crunching it like a freaking onion bhaji.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like,
This man right here is a chef. Let's just remember that he is a chef, and he will only eat Brussels sprouts if they are boiled to within an inch of their flavour.
No, I didn't say that. I like them boiled. I didn't say boiled to an inch of their life. Do not elaborate, Mags.
Harry Kane down with an ankle injury.
Biscuit ankles.
Which Red Lobster has quite a bit of. The nice cheddar biscuits. Red Lobster, that's a signature. Oh goodness.
Only Graham, if it's just specifically for the Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, Graham
Yeah,
asking if a
but
Red
what
Lobster
to do?
gift card makes a good wedding present. That's amazing. I just want to point out here that you were far more passionate about this Brussels sprouts topic than anything regarding this game.
Well, I've been trying to, but you guys have been, like, we have been discussing other things as well, of course. So
Yeah, I mean, but
And in fairness,
but
it's
still,
been-
I just
it's
didn't
been-
expect you to get this offended about Brussels sprouts.
it offends me that someone would even consider putting Brussels sprouts on the menu as a side option to go with fish and chips.
Food is food.
Yes,
people
but there's certain
eat what
things you
they
don't
like to
mess
eat.
with.
I mean, you pointed out that it goes out different than it goes in. So I mean, what's it's all the same at the end, right?
Look, Tanner,
I mean, this is a guy who's having a chocolate
Chocolate sausage gravy. fountain.
fountain at his wedding, so you have hardly any room to talk, Matt.
I did. Can I say the way that you got married to Twist that last week was absolute amazing and genius, and I love you dearly for it.
And in fact, Graham's actually made a good point. You could get fried Brussels sprouts on sticks and dip them in the chocolate sausage gravy fountain.
In fact, that might actually be an improvement because then you're getting the best of both worlds: the fried crunch, and then the
sausage
soft.
chocolatey goodness.
Yeah, and it provides a soft, a softening element to the Brussels sprout. Matt has vanished into his couch. It seems.
Wow.
So I'm trying to pass the ball. Yeah, you can keep
The
possession.
only time that Matt is even remotely interested in the game
I've been
is when
very interested in the game. To be fair, it's been way better.
is when
than
his
Chelsea.
food takes get shot down.
It's been way better for the Chelsea game with you today. To be fair,
Oh yes. I mean, I definitely applaud how passionate you
and
are about.
Ramsdale claims the ball quite comfortably. Have you said how stocky he is? By the way,
He's had a great game as well.
Ramsdale. If you look back, Max, you get a chance to later on. When they showed the teams on the screen before the game, he is literally. He looks like he's had his face molded on to someone who's twice his size. He's built like a brick chicken house.
Maybe
on
he
that
was
picture.
holding a lot of water weight that day.
Maybe. Or it could just be we didn't have a picture of him in the Arsenal kit.
Yeah, perhaps it's that. Perhaps it's like it's Lacazette's body with Aaron Ramsdale's head on.
It's possible. It's possible. I suppose Odegaard in the rear of that one. He looks about 12.
Who? Odegaard.
Tottenham really need to start
They need one badly.
changing up now. We're approaching the hour mark. They've got a free kick just outside the box.
Darren's
Looks
hands
like-
are up.
Yeah, it looks like
I mean,
Son is taking it.
What do you do though? I mean, you've made 2 changes already for Spurs. You've only got one more go at making a change here. It seems.
Are we down to 3 subs?
Yeah, back to 3 top fifth
Okay.
one, yeah.
I mean,
It's 5 in the Champions League, but 3 in the Premier League again.
looking at the subs bench, there's only really Brian Hill that you could bring on that could
Right.
add to this attack. Perhaps Lascelles saw, but I think he gets swarmed out by this Arsenal midfield.
Is he a game changer against this team, though?
They have no game changers at all on that bench. Not one.
I mean, you've really
Oh, good save by Ramsdale.
Oh, Ramsdale, great save. And that Kane's first shot on target.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then a great follow-up clearance as well to put it out.
And then look at the way the team rallied round Ramsdale. Then that's the passion. Tomiyasu coming up and half-halving him. This is an Arsenal team that we've missed sorely for the last 18 months.
They're playing as a team. They're playing for each other.
Yeah.
This is what we, as Max said, this is what we missed so much last season and a half. It feels like
last 2 seasons.
They're showing it again and how it's at full stretch, one hand out, bang.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it might have been going wide, but he can't risk it, can he? I think he's one bobble from that Arsenal pitch, but that Arsenal pitch is probably in the best condition in the entire Premier League, so you can't say that.
It's not had much action, that's why.
That and the Arsenal groundsman win the awards year in, year out, doesn't he? At one point, I think he won it like 30 years in a row, the best pitch in the league.
Well, in the Premier League, I remember a few years on the bounce, Blackburn won the Championship one.
Yeah.
But we've seen Tottenham in this second half have a lot more of the ball. They're just not doing a hell of a lot with it. They've actually gained possession. Now they're up to 51% of the ball.
Ooh, Kane again goes wide here.
That's a striker that is sadly out of form. He looks like he doesn't want to be there.
No, but he put that away. No problem. Yeah. There may be a shortage of HGV drivers in the country at the moment, but there'll never be a shortage of goals in the Premier League.
Ugh.
That was a stretch. That was a Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross 1996 stretch.
It's been a fantastic weekend for goal scoring, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Records being broken left, right, and centre, amount of goals going in.
I mean, unusual hat tricks for certain players. Salah getting his 100th Premier League goal. It's been an interesting weekend.
Welcome back, Mr. McCabe. We understand if things happen. Welcome back to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Real life.
While you've been away, sir, you missed everything. It's 3-0 to Arsenal. You must be pretty happy, sir, as an Arsenal fan.
Your team is doing actually really well. Like, really, really well. And as we say that, we see Arsenal wrestling Granit Xhaka, back to doing Granit Xhaka things.
Who else could it be?
Yeah.
I've just thought of something. Is it the kiss of death, the manager of the month award? Because since Nuno won it, he hasn't won a match. He was manager of the month for August.
Surely did need to be historic, though. I mean, if it happened to just him, maybe it's just
well, it's been
one incident.
They had one this season so far. Is it a kiss of death? Well, I guess we'll find out for about a year. Tanner, I'm assigning you to remember that stat.
I've already forgotten it.
Great defensively play there by Arsenal to get it back to Ramsdale so he can clear it.
We are reminded that here in the States that this game is brought to you by Maker's Mark, one of the finest in
is
in
it
whiskey,
actually?
In whiskey and bourbon makers.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Other bourbons are available.
Other bourbons are absolutely available.
But
this one's brought to you by Maker's Mark.
Somebody's used some computer trickery online to work out that Harry Kane's shot was going to hit the post and come out, but Ramsdale didn't take any risks.
You can't. I mean, how many times do you see keepers tipping shots over the bar that from our point of view look like they were going over? You've got to make sure.
Or ones that don't even react when the ball is definitely going in.
What annoys me,
like Lloris, for example.
That's amazing right now. We just seen Tottenham play a triangle between the same 3 players, and then they tried to repeat the triangle and give the ball away straight away, and Arsenal broke, and they didn't bother running back until Arsenal slowed down, pretty much.
Absolutely no passion.
Tomiyasu is actually cut inside. He's inverted, and Saka has actually gone out wide further.
They're free flowing, loving it.
Very, very interesting things that we're seeing here, but from this Arsenal team.
I mean, there were points in last season where Saka was essentially playing a wing back role. So,
yeah. And at the World Cup, at the Euros, he was arguably the stand-up player for England.
Yes, you could definitely argue that for sure.
The Olays at the Emirates right now, they haven't Olayed for a long, long time.
It's good to see free-flowing football from Arsenal, though.
Oh, Skip gets the yellow card. Aubameyang sprinted across to ask for one, but by the time he got there, the card had already been shown. Granit Xhaka is also flirting with his yellow card right now. How he hasn't been booked is amazing.
It also looks like Saka may have picked up a knock, or is it Thomas Partey?
It's Thomas Partey. That's a naughty tackle.
Oh!
Yeah. It's a bit
That's
rough.
his third booking of the season. This is his first season in Tottenham first team, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's only played maybe 4 times as well.
Been booked 3 times, yeah.
Wow, that's not a good record. He's the new Lamella.
We have found our new Lamella. Ramsdale hasn't had much to do, Mags, but what he has to do, he's dealt with very, very well and very professionally.
I mean,
he's had more to do in this half. Certainly.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's taking in the Lucozade, definitely enjoying that.
Lucozade.
Conor McCabe in the chat. Arsenal from relegation to mid-table and a possible Europe spot in a matter of 6 weeks.
Whoa.
Now,
let's not put the cart before the horse.
Let's bring this down just a wee bit here.
I will say
that champion material.
I will say that I mentioned this to you on the Rapid review, which wasn't a Rapid last week. Arsenal, they look like they're going to win their 3rd straight Premier League match here. I'm not putting them in the same league as Man City. Man City had a terrible start to last season, and then they went on this massive run and ended up winning the league championship. I'm not saying Arsenal will go win the league championship before you can about face Tanner, but Arsenal could go on a good run, having now re-established a bit of confidence, and this doing them no harm at all, and they could quite easily compete for the Europa League, playing like this week in, week out.
I agree, but the team seems to be quite bare bones. If they lose a couple of prominent players in prominent positions, I think we can see a return to the Arsenal of the last 18 months or so.
Yeah, if they get what Liverpool had last season, for example, like major injuries to big players, that could be in trouble for sure. If it's only 1 or 2, then they've got a bit of depth.
I mean, it definitely kind of goes back to what we said at the very beginning of the stream, is this is a make or break game for both of these teams. The team that wins today is going to have a massive high in momentum. It's just a matter of, can Mikel Arteta, because it does seem clear that Arsenal
Spurs trade coming now, guys.
It does seem clear that Arsenal are going to win this game at this point. Can Mikel Arteta actually take advantage of the rest of the squad here and find the right pieces to make that momentum ride out, not just for this starting 11, but for the whole rest of the squad that will be playing in the Premier League all season? That is the worry.
I was just going to say they did what I thought that they might do, and brought on Brian Hill for Ndombele, who's not had a good game. And it's interesting though that Spurs have made all their substitutions, and Arsenal are now approaching 70 minutes and haven't made one.
Mm-mm.
And they've not. They don't look like they need to. There's no player that you would say in the Arsenal team that looks tired or looks ready.
They're hungry. They're hungry, aren't they?
Yeah. And it goes back to the point that Tanner was just making, that both these teams were in transition. Both these teams needed to be. This was a make or break match, and it looks like only one team has stood up to be counted, and that's the Gunners.
Apparently, I'm going by what I'm reading here from Matthew Upson, obviously former Arsenal player. Said he hasn't been at the Emirates for a long, long time. It's the loudest he's ever heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Ever heard it. And the fans are the 12 man for sure.
Yeah.
And I definitely think Arsenal benefiting massively at the moment, having the fans back in.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Emirates was like the OG Etihad, right?
It was the library. People were calling it the library for a reason.
It was a tourist spot that was good to see a nice game on a weekend and enjoy the scenes and food of London. It wasn't it didn't ever have that big, feel
Passion
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the times
No
that they
soul.
had
No soul, Matt, is what I think.
I mean, the times that they had their big European nights, like against Bayern and some of these other teams, then yeah, I mean, you did have a raucous crowd come in, but those days have been long gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
to quote Roy Keane, it was very much the prawn sandwich brigade.
Yeah. Do you have Brussels sprouts with prawn sandwiches? Is that a thing? Can you do
like
that?
prawns. I don't like prawns.
What could you sub it?
Wow, how are you a chef?
I could be allergic for you,
I mean, you could, but I don't believe that you are.
Well, to be fair, I haven't had them for a few years. I'll eat them if I have to, sort of thing, but they wouldn't be my go-to thing on the menu for sure.
What about crawfish? Do you get crawfish there?
We do, but I'm not a massive fan of shellfish. I can cook it fine, and I'll eat it, but it's not my go-to thing. I might prefer proper fish, like your haddock, your plaice. I love swordfish. They're tasty.
Mm-hmm. I would eat anything fish.
Have you had swordfish, Max?
Yeah, plenty of times.
It's like eating a steak. It's delicious, Tanner.
Yeah, it's cool. Have you never had swordfish, Tanner?
I've had swordfish, but I mean, you compared it to steak just now, and
it's like eating steak.
Now you're getting into my part of the country, and that's
it's
insulting.
not steak.
You said it's like steak.
That was very good. That's very good, actually. That's actually very, very good, Graham. That's very good. You got the giggles.
Graham in the chat says the chef prefers the shell soup to the shellfish.
Arsenal not giving up on putting.
Second.
Yeah, they're wanting to put Tottenham in the dirt. That is amazing.
Good save from Lloris.
Finally, I mean, he has actually made it in this half. He's actually made quite a few really, really good saves.
Yeah, I mean,
he's certainly making up for his shitty performance in the first half.
He's saved, Spurs from being further embarrassed than what they've already been so far.
I'm gonna quote my brother here. Right now, Tottenham lucky to have nil. Tottenham have not been good in this game. Tottenham have not been good at all.
And even when they try and play it out, Arsenal come away with the ball.
Yeah, Ramsdale playing sweeper keeper, just calmed it down and then kicks it long.
And no passion from Kane or Son to attack the ball.
Well, we know Kane wants to leave, sort of thing. We know Kane wants to leave.
Passes back to Lloris. Lloris trying to find somebody before.
We do not need that, Connor, at all. Don't encourage him. The last thing Matt needs
I
is
might speak to Mrs. Powell on that one.
We just need a shirt that's got Matt on it that says Brussels sprouts.
Delicious.
This is a way for Arsenal here. They've got two players down.
Granit Xhaka down and Saka down. Wow.
I think Saka looks more it's through being a little bit tired.
Yeah.
Because he's run this Tottenham team ragged. Thierry Henry in the OG JVC sponsored.
He really is a fan, isn't
That's
he?
quality.
Well, yeah, I mean he's beloved here.
Yeah, but you can play for a club for years and years and years, and not necessarily be a fan of the team. Carlos Tevez, for example, played in England for a long time, but he was a mercenary.
Well,
yeah.
Henry was never a mercenary. Henry was
Henry was not. I'm saying sometimes it's nice to see him got out and bought the old shirt, sort of thing.
I dare say he
one
hasn't
of them.
bought it.
He
Bought for him, probably. Yeah.
He's probably given it. Yeah.
Yeah, people
Probably-
like him
probably.
don't have to buy things.
Oh goodness.
So it looks like Saka may be staying on. Perhaps it's a little bit of cramp. Rehydrating.
Little injection, maybe. Probably not.
No,
Probably not.
no,
that was a thing back in the day, right?
No!
In the late '80s, early '90s, some
No!
doctor would come on the pitch and give you a shot of something.
no. That's America, maybe, but not in the UK. No,
I don't know.
no. Oh, they give you a bottle of Lucasade, half an orange, a quick fag break, and then throw back on again.
And a magic sponge.
Yeah, Maradona, rest his soul. He always found a way to get an extra spark. Whenever he had to take a water break.
Although there was a very famous incident, Jimmy Greaves once said, this one I think it's all over. He once said it was past illegal many years ago. They used to, when they were in the communal baths, they used to pass around a bottle of amyl nitrate.
Wow.
He actually he said that on the air. This is on record, and to which Nick Hancock said, "That really is a performance-enhancing drug."
I wonder if that's why he ended up signing for AC Milan for a season.
Possibly. And then he talked. They were talking about how and language that him and David Stevens said it's a puffs game now.
Wow.
And to which
wow.
And he said, Jimmy Green said,
of all the people to be firing out these,
we had
frankly horrific terminology. We do not condone what Matt's terminology there.
Absolutely, there's more here. We had a man's game in our day. To which Nick Hancock followed. Yeah, all you sit around the bath naked with a big bottle of amyl nitrate. Yeah. He ended the conversation like that.
Well,
yeah, it was somewhat horrific and somewhat amazing at the same time.
And this was oh goodness.
Tottenham scored.
Tottenham finally scored.
Wow, Son with an amazing finish there. They're trying to recover
the flags up,
trying to rile the crowd, get a bit of passion going.
Xhaka is holding his leg.
He's gone down 2 or 3 times in the last few minutes.
His knee's done.
Oh,
and that's a horrific challenge.
Yep. It looks like Lucas fell in to Xhaka, who then fell on the ground.
He showed a lot of sympathy until he realised the ball was playing on and then went, "Fuck you, Xhaka. We've got a game to win."
Ramsey does his best, but he can't keep it out.
Yeah, he got a hand to it, but he just wasn't able to deflect it wide.
He did all he could, He did all he could.
Wow. Heung-min Son telling Harry Kane, that's the kind of passion we need. So start stepping up, Captain.
Conor came in the chat asking me and Tanner, since we're Liverpool fans, what we thought the 3-3 draw with Brentford. I will be telling you about that tomorrow with Mags on Headers and Volleys. Or the volley, what you want to call it.
The volley.
Oh!
So the challenge from that has injured Xhaka came from a Partey tackle onto Lucas Moura, who then bundled into Xhaka, and you saw the knee and the ankle give way, essentially. Yeah. That does not look good. That's
damage.
ligament damage. That's definitely
be
ligament
that.
damage.
That could be
you got to sub Xhaka off at this point. You need to bring on Lokonga.
Yeah.
If Lokonga's not already on, I think they were going to sub him. I couldn't see if they actually did or not.
He was warming up Lokonga, but I don't know.
He's standing up. Is he going to try and run this off?
No,
because he's a man. He's a man's man.
Well, we thought this before when Cesar Azpilicueta went down in the Champions League final and ran it off.
Mm-hmm.
We thought it was a hamstring tip there. He's limping, but I think he wants to carry on.
No, he's being guarded by
they're going to have him go off.
Yeah, he's. I mean, it's a good sign that he's actually able to put some weight on it, but he has to come off at that.
You can already see it swelling.
Yeah, and he's wincing.
Yeah,
there's no running that off. That's he could be out for quite a while with that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it looks like Lokonga is finally going to get on. I know he's been warming up for quite a few minutes, but. Yeah, it's a shame. As much grief as we give Granit Xhaka, nobody wants to see a player injured like that.
No, absolutely
not. But yeah, I mean, regarding Connor's question about the 3-3 draw with Brentford, I know Matt wants to save it for tomorrow. But
you can certainly give your opinion, sir.
Yeah, I'll speak.
Since you're not rocking up tomorrow, part timer.
Goodness. I feel like based on what we talked about yesterday, I think it was always going to be one of those games where Liverpool are away and they're going to be tested by a team that, quite frankly, plays very similar to the way that Liverpool wants to play. They both went there. Liverpool went there to play, fight fire with fire, and Brentford certainly answered. And again, Brentford's made this such a difficult place to play away to. And it's going to be very hard for any team to go there and to try and make a statement over Brentford. They played fearlessly yesterday against a team that, by all accounts, has won many, many honors. So, yeah, Brentford's a scary team. I have no doubt about it.
What do you mean by all accounts, Tanner?
What do you mean? What do you
You
mean?
know they've won many. By all accounts means allegedly.
No, by all accounts doesn't mean allegedly. By all accounts means they have won many titles.
Not in my language, doesn't it?
English?
I mean, I have to agree with you though, Tan. I think Brentford have got that mentality that we see with a lot of.
They're not afraid.
Yeah, coming from the Championship, they have no fear. They know that nobody expects them to do anything, and they have a belief that they can upset the apple cart, and they've certainly done that against Arsenal and against Liverpool. I think that's actually looking back on the season as a whole. I think Liverpool look at that as actually a really good point to get away at Brentford.
And to be quite honest, I mean, you look at the way that Brentford carry themselves. I think that you're seeing a lot of the same energy and confidence that you saw in Leeds last year.
And
with
Brighton.
Brentford and Brighton. So yeah,
and Brighton this season more than even last season.
Yes.
So we're getting into the end game of this match now. It's about 6 minutes to go plus added time.
I think the Congo has been the only change that Arsenal have made. There's been an enforced change due to what looks like ligament damage. We hope it's not the case. We will update you if we hear anything back at tomorrow on the show with Mags and me and Sai, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
If Arsenal or Arteta had any sense, I'd haul Saka off. He's looked tired in the last few minutes. The last thing you want is somebody like him picking up a little knock. And it looks like that's what they're doing. Yeah, it looks like that's what we're getting.
Sensible move here. Sensible move.
It's been a dominant performance by Arsenal. Let down by the goal, but when you've got strikers of the class of Kane and Son, there's always that threat, I suppose. But this has been an outstanding performance by Arsenal. Really, really well done.
I mean, the fact that Arsenal kept both Kane and Son quiet for 80 plus minutes is I mean, that's an accomplishment in and of itself.
And
Tomiyasu having a battle here with Brian Hill.
That was
That's
a
how
really
you
good
make-
battle.
That's how you introduce it to the fans. Yeah, a cult hero in no time.
Tottenham looking to pin Arsenal back a little bit more, try and make it interesting for the last 5 or so minutes.
Am I seeing that right, Mag? Is Lucas playing centre mid?
And I think they're just trying to pile everybody forward. But yeah, Lucas is certainly in the middle of the park. I think
Need him.
He should be way more forward than he is, but maybe he's just no trust in the Tottenham midfield to be able to create.
Yeah, that seems to be a major problem here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're looking at the Tottenham midfield, and nobody really is decisive enough to create big chances.
Well, when you see Spurs, this Spurs team compared to the Wolves team that their manager had prior to going to Spurs, you had João Moutinho and who was the other? Who's the other?
Neves.
Ruben Neves is a
Ruben
quality
Neves.
player.
Both of them in the midfield, both players creatively and offensively, and defensively too, excellent. Those two can run a midfield from quite a good distance back. There's not anybody in Spurs midfield who is that multifaceted, who can run a game offensively and defensively from the base of midfield.
I mean, I agree and I don't agree. I think the likes of Højbjerg and Dele Alli can do that. I just think Dele Alli has been so poor over the last few years that you now expect him to not be able to do that. So yeah, I do. I think Tottenham have got some players who can, on their day, when in form, can be world beaters. Like Ndombele, we've seen him where he's been unplayable, but there's too many times where he's anonymous and where he's drifted past as if he's not even there. The same with Ale. Lucas Moura, again, like Matt said, he's playing in midfield. This is a guy who should be ploughing forward and scaring the defenders. It's
right.
a team that doesn't know what it wants to do. I don't think.
I
think there's a lot of dissent in that Tottenham dressing room. I think that the Kane issue has kind of really upset the mindset of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Emil Smith-Rowe's come off for Nuno Tavares, and
he's also been
Saka.
named man of the match as well by Sky Sports. I mean, I don't think he's in the running for my man of the match, but we will get to that certainly.
I mean,
and Saka's come off for Maitland-Niles, yeah.
Maitland-Niles, yeah.
And the ovation when Saka went off, it was deafening. It was absolutely deafening. It was wonderful to see.
He's their new Thierry Henry. It's as simple as that.
And he's English. It's even better.
Terry Henry, then. He's their new Terry Henry.
Graham mentioned in the chat as well, he saw somebody compare Brentford to Wimbledon of the 80s, and he thought it was a good comparison. I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't disagree. I did mention this yesterday on Tekkers. I thought Brentford could be Liverpool's toughest test of the season. And
they were.
It. I mean, Brentford for me feels more like a clay ground, as opposed to a grassy field, for your tennis matches.
Oh, that was cynical. They don't want to lose a player late on.
That's poor, Tanner. Tanner, that is poor.
I'm avoiding it. Emerson Royale there. Cynical foul, and they could end up conceding another goal from this. I always hope they do.
89th minute here.
This is probably the best performance I have seen.
And not one Arsenal fan is leaving the building.
No,
that's good to see.
I reckon the Spurs fans have cleared out already.
Possibly.
Oh, that was snared by
Tonga.
yeah. Just I'll kick it right behind this stanchion.
There are 5 minutes of time lost, gentlemen. I hate that term.
Yeah, just say extra time.
Because it's not extra time.
It's
extra
added time.
Added time. But it's time added on stoppage time. They all work fine. Time lost just turns. In fact, it is right.
Brian Hill there with a great run. Gets ripped down though.
I mean, here in the States, it still shows stoppage time on the clock indicator when it pulls up in the.
I like the term stoppage time. So Lukonga's been on the pitch no more than 2 minutes. Brian Hill absolutely ripped him apart to the point where Lukonga's only way of keeping up with him was to drag him to the floor.
Spurs ball in, but they didn't beat the first man. The Chris Harris rule beat the first man.
That was a poor ball by Lucas Moura. Yeah, it's looking more. What a save! That was going in. That was certainly going in.
And also a good recovery once again by Tomiyasu.
Ramsdale screaming, and so were the Arsenal defenders were screaming back at him in almost like a tribal chant.
I gotta say, man.
Oh, that is a great save onto the bar.
Oh, see, I'll admit I was not very keen on this Arsenal defense here, Ramsdale included. You know, I mean, if you look at Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel, and then Kieran Tierney, I didn't know what to really make of it, but if they can stay organized like this could be a really, really solid basis for Arsenal.
Aaron Ramsdale, since he's actually played between the sticks for Arsenal, hasn't put a foot wrong.
No.
Yeah.
I will
every game that we've lost have been dinner and go.
If we see more and more performances like this from Arsenal, I will happily eat crow about Aaron Ramsdale being a huge waste of money.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I thought it was a good signing. I just thought the money that paid for him was extremely.
Yeah, kind of like Ben White. Ben White's an outstanding signing, but at 50 million, that's expensive.
Of course. Now we've been saying all these things, of course, mate. If Arsenal were to go win the league title, then we'd all have to eat crow because we'd have to. It ain't gonna happen. It's not going to happen.
Ryan Hill attracting another foul, this time on the opposite wing. Oh, look at that. He wins the free kick, and suddenly he's fine. He's all right. Nothing to worry about.
It's nice my Aubameyang there, throwing the ball away.
I mean, why
that's
not?
Technically a card.
He should just kick the ball right here while Son stands over a free kick.
Do you remember those? Do you remember those years when we years ago when one of the teams playing in the World Cup didn't know the rules, and as soon as the free kick was laid down, one of the players just burst from the wall and just belted it down the pitch.
So I actually know of that story, and that's not big. Apparently, a big part of it is when VHS tapes were sent out and produced about like football bloopers. That one was made because this player didn't know the rules about the game and stuff. It was actually a response to, I think there was a lot of government tension within the country that he was representing, and there was it was basically a politically defiant gesture of his to kick the ball based on something about them not being able to go back home because of like tensions within the country that they were from.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Just not as
so
cool
it was
a
symbol of protest. It was a symbol of protest rather than ignorance of the rules.
Well, in that case, then good for him. Sure.
Apologise, Matt. Now
I
for besmirching the good name of whoever it was.
I was not aware.
this person.
I genuinely wasn't aware of that story. So thank you, Tara, for educating me.
No, you're very welcome.
So there is a few people clearing out now. I imagine that there may be a few Arsenal fans.
Yeah, that whole Tottenham end is looking sparse. There's very few Tottenham fans sticking.
A few Gooners will have gone probably to try and beat the traffic, but not on that scale. No.
Nuno is not a happy bunny.
I mean, no, look at him. It's definitely not.
Whereas Arteta is showing all the passion that he normally shows of a tree stump.
Of a winning manager.
It's all over.
If Mikel Arteta reacts like Steve Bruce does in FIFA 22 and just runs out sprints everybody,
I mean, he'll certainly be able to outsprint Xhaka. That's for damn sure. In fairness, that was a great victory for Arsenal.
Phenomenal victory
that nobody expected. But it's the joys of a derby. It really does lift players, and yeah, that was fun to watch, even with the running from Mr. Cash. Despite the running from Mr. Cash.
Teammate Cash, always going to have him aboard. So, gentlemen, it's probably a good idea if we were to go through our Pigthorpe man of the match. So, you say that he's not making. Tom had one, didn't they? Yes, they did. Graham just noticed that I missed putting the 1 after deleting the 0. Oh dear God! Are they men? Mags, you said that for you, Smith Rowe isn't your man of the match. He is on the TV, but who is your man of the match?
Yeah, I mean, Smith Rowe played well. Don't get me wrong. He played well, got the first goal, opened the scoring. But I think there's a couple of players that stood out to me a lot more than him. I think Saka was all over the pitch. I thought he had a really good game. But for me, I think my man of the match is actually going to be Tomiyasu. For somebody making the debut, he was calm, confident. He was in the middle of a lot of Arsenal's good work going forward, and he even switched roles with Saka, showing that kind of that versatility that he's got. So for somebody who's very new to the Premier League, I think he looked like he played there for a decade. So I'm going to go with Tomiyasu.
Hey, it's a great pick, to be fair, Mags. What about you, Tanner?
I'm only going to slightly disagree with Mags in that I am going to say Smith Rowe deserves to be man of the match here because he's scored and assisted here today. But yes, an honorable mention certainly needs to go out to Tomiyasu for sure because he showed his worth today, and you can see how excited these Arsenal fans are about this team here today. But also a special mention for Aaron Ramsdale, who he also proved his worth here today. If those two players, Tomiyasu and Ramsdale, can continue their form and continue to make that Arsenal defense as good as they were today, Arsenal might be tough, tough contenders here this season. I don't know.
Smith Rowe for you.
Smith Rowe.
I've got to agree with Tanner's shout out for Ramsdale as well, though, because he made 3 big saves in that second half, and if those were goals, this was a totally different result. So yeah, good call, Tanner.
Indeed, he's my pick man of the match for sure. To be fair, you could have picked anyone from that Arsenal team tonight. They all stood up and be counted. You didn't see a lot of Ben White and Gabriel because they didn't have a great amount to deal with.
But when you did see them, when they did need to stand up, they were there.
This is very true. Emil Smith Rowe, I mean, they're building a team around him, Odegaard, and Saka, as you were saying earlier, Mags. I mean, chef's kiss. West Ham could dream about having a player like that. Xhaka, Granit Xhaka, he's a good shout, Graham, to be fair. He had a good game. But no, Saka was a great one. Oh, for God's sake.
Wow.
Thank you, Graham.
You're just getting bullied on this show, Matt. I don't know why you keep turning up every single week.
I have to keep you two in line, don't I?
That's very true.
That's
But to be fair, all 3 of our picks, we picked. You could interchange any of them for each of us. To be fair, because those 3 players you could perhaps pick 6 or 7 from the other team today who were man of match contenders. I'm being heckled in the chat. Seriously, Graham, come on the show. You can heckle me in person.
Yeah, I mean that the door's always open. I mean,
this is actually one point of Graham's that I will go against. I thought that Xhaka was really good. Thought he was very controlling that midfield. His distribution was spot on. His tackling and ball winning was really good. He was calm as well. That's one thing you hope for from Xhaka.
He didn't get sent off. He didn't get sent off, which is important.
I'm just going to say, from 5:42 p.m. local time, that's when he actually started watching the game alongside us. So, first half he was fantastic, Grant Xhaka. So, yeah.
Yeah, good times, great memories. This has been yet another installment of Radio Tekkers. We always have fun here, covering the matches and discussing with you guys. And we talked about a lot of things. We talked about the football game, of course. We talked about a little bit of pro wrestling, a little bit of boxing, a little bit of MMA,
NFL,
a little bit of NFL as well. Yes. If these things are of interest to you, definitely give us a follow at Radio Tekkers. That's RADIOTEKKERS. That's us on Twitter. So give us a follow there, and you can definitely check out all the content that we provide here on this channel, be it wrestling, be it MMA, be it football. I know that Matt was particularly excited about maybe introducing some racing content, which would be
there's
quite
potential. There's potential for sure.
There's potential. Good. Well, good deal here, gentlemen. Let's sign off for today then. Matt, where can people find more of you and your content?
People find more of me. They could just follow me down here at the Mad Attack UK on Twitter. You can find most of my content over on Visionary Global Media. And you can.
Graham in the chat is not here for racing content.
No,
you haven't got to have.
We are attempting to hit all the demographics. We will have something that you enjoy.
Indeed, there's something for everybody here at Tekkers. We exclude nobody. Discrimination is something we don't do here. Equality for everybody. If you don't like that, then you can always do. And as Graham as he said, of course, the latest Good Cop, Bad Cop is out later today.
So were you going to say equality for everybody except those who don't equality? Is that what you were going to say?
My lack of being able to hate somebody, Mag, refuses to let me say that.
Okay.
Where can people find you and your great content, sir?
Don't you hate Sergio Ramos?
No one's been arrested, so it's different.
Okay. You can follow me down here at Podfather Mags. I am all over the show. Some would say too many Radio Tekkers show for any one human being.
You say this every week.
This person over here said that.
I've never said this. You say this every week, and I have to constantly deny it.
You can find me later on this week with Chair Wrestling, and then straight after that I will be on with my good friend Matt, and dragging Simon kicking and screaming over to our review show, newly named The Volley.
The Volley.
We're workshopping the name, Fez. We may put it to a vote.
But definitely stick around here on Radio Tekkers, because we have got a great team of amazing content creators, stuff in the pipeline that our team is working on. So we're bringing some of the best content that you can get. So definitely subscribe, give us a follow, send out a telegram, tell your friends, tell your enemies. Just get involved.
And to go back on mentioning there, we've heard that Mag's in kayfabe for the Void Entertainment.
We recorded that literally months ago, so yeah, I'll be excited.
This is the thing with Michael. It can happen like that. Michael, of course, he was on with me a few weeks ago for Champions League coverage. And actually, a little bit of a spoiler here. I'm actually in the process of working on live coverage of the first night of the draft for WWE this weekend.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Cool.
Working on that.
Sweet.
So Tanner, sir.
Oh yeah.
You, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at TexasGentleman_, which is right here. Right here. You can find me there. That's my personal account. You can check out all my content there where I retweet it normally. Or you can just hit me up. Just want to talk, chat, whatever. I'm always around. You can also other content wise, the series finale of Headlock Talk is now available for all your listening pleasure. Where
Starring Kablam.
yeah, starring Mags, Mr. Kablam himself. So Mags, Mr. Warren Hayes, and Conrad from Everything Pro Wrestling came and chatted with me about All In, which is the proto AEW kind of show. Of course, it's not necessarily in canon with anything AEW's done, but I mean, one could argue
it was the spark that lit the fire.
it's basically it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's basically AEW.
It is.
So yeah, you can go and check that out. That was a lot of fun, and yeah, this is a really fun time here this week, getting to do a double header here with these two fine gentlemen. We thank you guys for joining us. If you haven't done so already, give us a subscribe. What are you waiting for? Hit that button. It's really easy. Plus, you can hit the bell for notifications, just so that way you can be sure to join us for every occasion where we go live, no matter the show. But until the next time, I am Tanner, aka the Text Gentleman, and for Matt and Mags, we ask that you take care and enjoy the rest of your day.
We're out of here.
Bye bye.